right, folks, it's Mike the Ref back here at the St. Albert Community Hall.
Fat Albert.
Sorry, Fat Albert in downtown Fat Albert, Alberta. We'll get to the reason why we're talking about that later on here.
Yes.
I am joined by ring announcer to the Stars, Andre Como.
Yes. I'm so glad to be here.
And, of course, the rest of my Brian Hamilton.
Oh, wow. Yeah, great to be here.
Oh,
Okay, I said the mention thing. We're standing outside the venue, and we're looking at the St. Albert Community Hall. It's just beautiful. There's the banner for the CWE right on the front saying 9 damn years tour. I love it.
Yeah, folks, I'll snap a picture of it and get it on our Facebook page here, coinciding with the audio cast here. A great show. CWE never fails to amaze how good of a show these guys put on. And for me, this might have been one of the best shows that they've had, period. On the heels of a Jake the Snake tour, they had some lofty goals to live up to, and they did that in spades here tonight. As Andre's taking a picture, Brian, your thoughts on the card before we go?
Oh my God, it was a great card. We had 6 fantastic matches. We had, like we said, our future guest Ron Simmons here tonight. I mean, it was great. The crowd was fantastic, and a beautiful night to come enjoy wrestling.
Andre,
This company, they gave me an opportunity a few shows ago to start doing ring outs for them, and I was already a fan of this company, and I'm so proud to be actually part of this show, because it's the best show. I think that one of the best shows that is in this area, and it's only 3 times a year.
yeah, that's the one thing that sucks, and that gets into politics, which I don't really want to get into on this cast, but let's get into the matches, because I want to get to the good stuff here.
Yes.
Now, right off the bat, we started with a triple threat match.
Oh, God.
We had I would say RCW alumni, the Morningstar Mercenary Night.
Quick note on that, if you actually look at the promotion on Facebook for this show, he was promoted as the Morning Mercenary. He didn't like that.
Well, he likes to fight the daylight. I don't know. Maybe he's a vampire. We'll go with that. Taking on Roy Flash Gordon.
The fastest wrestler alive.
And, yeah, we'll get to that here in 1 second. Taking on Alex Anthony.
Second to none.
And in an epic triple threat match to start the crowd going. Before I get to my takeaways on the match, I'll run into the ending here, literally, where Alex Anthony leveled a Knight, toppled him out of the ring, and then, quicker than a hiccup, yes, I love using that.
Out of nowhere,
a roll-up off the ropes, so 1, 2, 3, Roy Flash Gordon becomes your winner of this matchup.
Yeah.
Before my thoughts, Brian?
Oh my God, this was a great match. Like I said, we had 3 fantastic wrestlers going at it. In the end, Alex Anthony, he came in out of nowhere.
Flash Gordon.
Like, if you blinked, you missed it. Yeah, Flash Gordon.
Both of them.
Yeah.
You missed them. It was blink. You missed it. It was fantastic, and I love seeing these different guys, because you don't get to see them all the time, and it's great to see different wrestlers.
I enjoyed the hell out of it. I just enjoyed the one part before the match where Alex Anthony was doing his entrance.
Yes.
And anytime there's like a chubby guy in a ring or something like that, he seems to go up and rub his head against their belly, and he did it to the ref, then he did it to me. That was just hilarious.
Yeah, and we were still trying to figure out when the Twins are expecting for you, but
Screw you too. No, I love this match. Like, this is like I say it every show, this is the perfect kind of opener. Fast-paced, exciting, gets the crowd going first thing, and it sets your tone for the evening is what it is.
Absolutely. But my biggest take on this matchup, we saw Roy Flash Gordon and Alex Anthony team up on the last CWE show.
Yeah.
Friggin' mozzies.
Yeah, we're getting eaten alive by mosquitoes, folks, so forgive us if we're sounding a little herky-jerky at times here. We've seen these two team up before. Now, we get to see them on opposite ends going at it with each other. The biggest thing for me was how smooth Alex Anthony was in the ring with both competitors and the way he interacted with the crowd.
Yeah.
Now, and with Roy Flash Gordon, for me, it wasn't just how quick he was, it's how explosive he was. Like, let's be honest, he didn't do a whole lot in this match. If you look over it, every time he hit something, it was impactful, explosive, and quick.
Yeah. Everything he does, it's effective. He doesn't, he just does everything. I noticed in that match, he's effective in everything he does. He doesn't let any small thing go.
No, not at all. Overall, this was a great way to start your night off.
I also gotta say, I'm impressed by Knight, especially because that guy actually, by truth, hasn't wrestled since the last CWE tour. So he's the guy who's been off for a good couple months, since January. And you got to look, this guy, like, he came in tonight looking impressive as all hell, and no ring rust on him, I thought, at all.
Exactly. It was fantastic. Like you said, all three guys put on a great show. It's a great way to open the show, and the crowd got into it from the beginning. It's what you need for one of these shows. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was a great match up there. But moving on, we had a little bit more local talent here in our next match, in the tag team match. The former CWE Tag Team Champion, the Crazed Cowboy, Jacob Creed.
Just recently lost those titles.
Yeah, just earlier on this tour, but we'll get to the champions a little later on here, the new champs. Teaming up with the 6'10" giant Charlie Winston.
Yep.
Taking on the team of Franco Varga, who is coming out to Lou Bega.
And one of our favorites, sentiment of all of us, Barricade.
And my God, this match here, like, you go through this match and you have certain expectations when you see guys come out. A guy like Jacob Creed, working with two guys like Varga and Barricade, you expect somewhat of a slower paced match, a more deliberate match, a more I don't want to say plotting, but a more deliberate match.
More of a big man, slower style. It's what a big guy does. It's a slower style.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
You didn't see that this match.
Jacob Creed, hell no.
Jacob Creed kept this match going quick.
Same with Charlie Winston too.
Yeah, it was very impressive. He was making his debut in Western Canada, and
English guy from Norwich, England.
Yeah, and a lot of eyes on him here, and very impressive. You had Franco Varga, who had to take most of the punishment throughout this matchup here, and when he got his chance in the ring to shine, he gutted it out and put a hell of an effort in.
And another guy who you think is probably bigger sized guy, who you think would be slower, but man, the dude's quick as a hit. Just huge. The dude's fast, even for being such a big dude.
Absolutely. And then you have Barricade, of course. And for me, Barricade, this may be one of the best matches I've seen from him in a while here. The fact that he took it up to a second gear, or a third gear, whichever way you want to go, the next gear, in terms of his in-ring action. In the end, you had Winston push Barricade into a ring post, and you had a discus clothesline by Jacob Creed on Varga in the ring for the 1-2-3 and the victory for Jacob Creed and Charlie Winston.
But then after the match, you had Barricade come back in and hit that...
Barricade the belly.
Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah.
I patented that before, so...
Yeah, you stole it from somebody else.
Yeah, I know. Brian, your thoughts?
Oh, man, this was a great match. Like you said, all four of these guys were pretty big, and for the size of them, they all moved pretty damn good. Especially Charlie Winston. My God, for a 6'10" guy, he moved like a junior heavyweight for the stuff that he was doing. It was incredible. I mean, this was a great match. I loved it. You got to see a new guy. We never seen him before. Something different, and overall, great tag team match. Jake Creed and Charlie Winston picked up a huge win.
Yeah. I enjoyed the hell out of it. It's like big guys just moving, hitting each other. It's another match. Like it didn't suffer from that after the first one thing. It just kept the momentum going. It's the perfect thing you want in a match like that.
And speaking of momentum, going on to our next matchup here, I'll say it right now, based on the comments from the women in the MPW women's division who have contacted me to scout out new talent, this match here, identified two huge talents
Oh my God, yes.
presented in Western Canada here. You had Maddison Miles taking on Scarlett Black. Now, these two ladies know how to hit hard.
God.
Before I give my complete thoughts on this match, Andre, as you're picking mosquitoes out of the way here.
I enjoyed women's wrestling, and these two were great, and especially with Maddison Miles, we actually seen her. It was a couple of years ago. She was working for MPW.
She worked. Yes, we were.
And like, she was newer to the business at that point, and man, has she improved over the last
Big time.
couple of years. She's leaps and bounds compared to where she was, and so impressed with both of these. Scarlett Black, I loved her T-shirt, wrestling bitch face, just awesome.
I'm sure we're going to find some way to get that available online for all you fans here. Contact Scarlett Black on Facebook or Twitter, because she definitely will have. I'm sure she'll find a way to get some out to you here. Brian, your thoughts on the match?
Oh, I thought this was a great match. Scarlett Black impressed me a lot, and said Maddison Miles, we've seen her before, and I've been following her since she left MPW, and this girl, she's been on a major tour. In the last, I think she said the last 5 months, she's only slept in her bed 12 days. So that tells you what kind of a star she is. She's been traveling all across Canada, all across the world. And Andre said she much better improvement over since the last time we've seen her. And I hope we get to see more of her in the future, because it was a pleasure to seeing her again.
Mike, bring her into the Sirens division.
I mean, that's...
Well, I will say this. Maddison Miles, like I remember that mixed tag match that she had with Psycho Sawyer, and it was Kato and Youngblood Cody Blade.
Yeah.
In a mixed tag there, she showed signs, but she didn't show this kind of polish the way that she did now.
It's just general improvement from working for so long.
And the interaction with the crowd. Like, that's something that when it comes to women's wrestling, a lot of times they're focused on getting more of the wrestling in and not focusing on the interaction with the crowd.
These girls did both.
Yeah.
Yes.
I believe Raven Lake put out a Facebook post here. If you guys check out my Facebook page of the Backbreaker Media one, talking about women's wrestling, it's all about the respect in the ring, interacting with fans, not just about what you look like.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, these ladies look great, but these ladies do know how to go in the ring. And I'll tell you right now, I am working, got to work some contract details out, but I am working on getting one or both of these ladies into MPW here in the near future. So.
Awesome.
But moving on from there, actually, no, I can't move on yet because we have to tell the finish. We were so enthralled about how good the match was, we didn't talk about how it ended. This match went back and forth, and frankly, the chops that Scarlett took from, Brian threw out his nice swear for the day here. They hurt. Like, within the first couple, I'll say the first one ended up in the throat.
Yeah.
I'll call that right now. Yeah. I talked to Scarlett after the match, and she's like, yeah, it hurts right now. So she was beat red. She ended up getting caught in... The best way I can explain it without actually visually showing you is if you go back to the Hurricane's Eye of the Hurricane finisher, which was a reverse DDT with a step over.
Yep.
This one was essentially a DDT with a step over where Scarlett was in a DDT position. Maddison flipped around and drove her with her right forearm on the back of Scarlett Black into the canvas, knocking her out and getting the 1-2-3 for the victory. Great match, great start, great finish, great everything in between. And I can't wait to see what's in the future with both of these, including, if you guys are listening, if you're in Medicine Hat, there's going to be a triple threat match with these two ladies and Angelica.
Oh my God.
Like, I'm sorry, that's like taking great to oh my God, in the words of Brian. But you know what? Something that was technically rather great to something that was absolutely brutal and vicious. And yeah, we'll go phenomenal. And I'm not going to use the word damn that's good, but I'll use damn that's good for right now. We got our no disqualification match between the Canadian Crusher AJ Sanchez and hotshot Danny Duggan, one half of the CWE Canadian Tag Team Champions.
Yep.
Who, I believe it was, which town was it? Estevan or... it was in northern Saskatchewan.
No, Estevan's coming up.
Yeah. It was one of the northern Saskatchewan...
One of the northern Saskatchewan days.
One of the northern Saskatchewan sites. You can check it out on the CWE page. Him and Tyler Colton, Canadian Hercules, managed to beat the Cannon Clan for the CWE Tag Team Championships.
They got a rematch towards the end of the tour. The Cannon Clan, I think there's a rematch at some point.
Well, I think Alberta decided to get a little bit of sense here, and the Rebel Bobby Collins has been banned from Alberta. I hope he gets banned from Canada, North America, etc. But I digress. Let's get back in focus here. We had AJ Sanchez, Danny Duggan, Special Enforcer, WWE Hall of Famer, former NWA champion,
Former leader of the Nation of Domination.
former member of the Acolyte Protection Agency.
They're still a team. They're just not active anymore.
One
half of the Acolyte Protection Agency.
We will get to that in 1 second here. Ron Simmons. My God,
And if you don't know my name, I mean Farouk.
yeah. We'll talk about Simmons here in just a moment, but at the start of the match, you had AJ Sanchez who tried to bribe Ron Simmons with a $5 bill.
10. It was actually 10.
It was a 10?
Yeah, I saw the money.
Sorry, you got better. But where did
I had a better angle on the money exchange than you did.
Did you get a better angle on where that money came from?
Yeah, his crotch.
Yeah. This was like
That's why Ron didn't want to touch it.
this is like Bradley Graham-esque digging. That's how bad it was.
Well, for one, he was far undervaluing the services of Ron Simmons.
Well, I saw that and I thought of those McDonald's commercials where they have the $4 deal. Pretty much that's what I thought about that setup there. So he gives him the money, assumes that everything's going to...
He shoves it in his pocket and said, "Oh, I'm not going to go too deep in that pocket."
No, I didn't go too deep in that pocket.
Yeah, I didn't go too deep in that pocket, yeah.
But then he decides to chastise St. Albert by describing them by the people that were there as Fat Albert.
Yeah, that's where the Fat Albert comes from. And the greatest chant broke out between about my 3 or 4 favorite people, and they started chanting, "Hey, hey, 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 hey."
Well, if you're gonna call us Fat Albert, what do you expect?
I thank you guys for chanting that. That made my night.
Shout out to the big guy Delmer, who I'll be honest, he's the one that started it. So
Dude, he could make a room sound like everybody's chanting alone.
pretty much. But on top of that, we had a cake chant going because he said everybody needed cake.
No, he made a mention about a kid stuffing his face full of cake.
Yeah, so Delmer starts a cake chant.
We want cake.
But let's just say there was a lot of fire going into this matchup. Now, throughout this matchup, both men worked over each other's arms for the primary focus throughout the match.
Well, AJ's focusing on what the damage he did actually in last year in December there, right at the start of I think it was right at the start of the tour, the last tour, he ended up tearing Danny's pectoral and bicep muscle.
And ended up having to go for surgery and missing our last stop here. Sorry, adoring fans as always.
Oh, yeah. Everybody loves me.
Oh, God. But then you also had Danny Duggan focusing on the shoulder as well, playing a little tit for tat, especially with you had an extra shot there or two with a steel chair that was brought into the ring, ring steps, an assistance on a chop by a certain MPW wrestler known as the Wild Child.
Yep. I was like, I didn't really realize he was there, and then all of a sudden I see them go over, and then I see a dude chop, and I'm like, what the hell? You let a fan chop? Yeah, a fan chop, and I look over, I'm like, holy crap, it's Tyler James.
I will say this right now, that was probably the best chop I've seen out of Tyler James in a while.
Damn right.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, AJ, but you had to deal with that.
Yeah. He went all in on that chop, man.
Oh, absolutely. And from there, we just had a big back and forth. the turning point in this match was when Tasty Travis decided to meander his way out to the ring, slink his way out, extra grease in behind, all that good stuff.
Yeah,
and,
extra grease in behind, yeah.
And as Danny was applying the crippler crossface, which we all know is deadly, almost had the tap out. Tasty Travis comes in, breaks it up.
He did miss. He actually ran Ron Simmons into the post before he actually came into the ring to attack Danny.
Oh, that's true. He got him off center there. Started the beatdown on Duggan. Simmons gets up, catches and leg trips Tasty Travis outside the ring, and unloads one of those right hands that you just simply say, "Oh my God!"
Or, damn.
Yeah, well, I was saving that for later.
One damn punch.
So you got Cole knocked out at ringside. You had Sanchez trying to take the momentum back after all the confusion, but Duggan...
He was getting angry at Ron Simmons, yelling, you're doing it wrong.
Doing the protection wrong. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, Duggan out of nowhere hits that crippler crossface and forces the tap out by AJ Sanchez.
Yep.
The only other point I have to bring up in this match was mid-match, AJ decides to come out of the ring. Delmer is giving him no end of grief throughout the entire match. And he comes out, wipes all the grease off his head, his body, onto his hands, and puts it in Delmer's beard, his shirt, and everywhere. Like a deep massage.
So I'm expecting a beardless Delmer at the next show.
Well, all I can say...
That's the only way to get rid of that. You can't get that disgusting AJ Sanchez oil grossness out of your beard. By washing it, you have to shave it off.
I will say this, folks. I bought a shirt from AJ Sanchez because that's the first time in 5 years that I've heard Delmer shut up for 5 minutes.
Yeah, he was quiet.
Yeah. You didn't know what to think on that one. Wow. Before we get to what happened after the match, because that's an image that's going to be burned in some people's minds for a very long time. Brian, your thoughts on the match?
Overall, I thought it was a great match. AJ Sanchez and Danny, they put up a great fight. They were fighting all over the building tonight, and in the end, Danny got the crossface on him, and he made AJ tapped out, which was fantastic. And then, like you said, the ending afterwards.
Andre?
I love this. I'm a huge fan of Danny Duggan, personally, and just him in the ring. Why this man hasn't been signed, I don't understand. He's so good. And then AJ Sanchez, Mr. Mid-Card talent.
No, we're going with popcorn match talent.
Yeah, but he's been known as...
Sorry, I thought you were talking about Jesse Travis. My bad, sorry.
I'm talking about AJ Sanchez, known as Mr. Mid-Card talent. These two, so good together, and there's so much history there, and they were able to portray the history and the hatred for each other and still have a phenomenal, and give us a phenomenal match included in that. And they made us realize the hate between the two of them. That's what I really enjoyed between them.
And the thing to me is, they may have made that, but they also did not. If you weren't there for the last show, if you weren't looking online, if you were just there for a casual show, you could tell the hatred between these two without having to be spoon-fed anything.
That's the mark of two really phenomenal workers in this business, is the fact that you can take somebody who's never been to a show before and get them invested in how much you hate each other.
Absolutely. And so we got to the end of the match, and then after the match you have Tasty Travis, who, I'm going to clarify this right now, he says he's an Alberta son. He's from Calgary.
Technically, Calgary is part of Alberta.
Yes, but that's
the most redneck part of Alberta, but still.
Yeah, let's go with that. Calls out Ron Simmons, I'm sorry, you have a bit of a death wish on you if you even think about doing that.
Yeah.
I will say this, Ron Simmons, thick cut, still I feel could go in in many respects.
When I shook that dude's hand tonight, it felt like he crushed my hand. Like, he's still got the strength, man. Like, still to this day, man. And he's like, what, in his 50, mid-late 50s somewhere?
Well, I wish you could see me right now. Everybody thinks I'm scratching mosquito bites. No, that was the imprint from Ron Simmons as he's patted me on the back after we took a photo.
Yeah.
So, Simmons gets in the ring. AJ's down on all fours because he's trying to get himself back up following that crossface. And all of a sudden, one shot from Ron Simmons onto Tasty Travis, and Travis turns around, spins around, falls over, and yeah, folks, doggy style position is the best way we can explain it. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep this PG, but there's no other way to explain it.
Exactly.
And of course, what does that lead to, Andre? You were ready to do it? Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Damn! Oh, the crowd popped big time.
Big time.
Yeah.
Well, okay, before we move on here, folks, I want to get you guys' thoughts on Ron Simmons, because I know you guys met him throughout the show. I know Andre met him a lot more than we did, but...
I'll be honest, he rolled in he got here about 5 minutes before the doors opened, so I talked to him a couple times throughout the show. That's pretty much it.
But your thoughts on meeting Mr. Simmons?
Oh, dude, phenomenal class act guy, and he's so nice. I love that guy. Like, just so nice. I got to chat with him for a few minutes backstage, and just he's such a nice guy, easy to talk to. Not one of the guys that thinks he's too big for his fans and everything. And I really like a guy like that, like who at his level, with everything he's done, is willing to come out on a tour like this and go to the smaller towns and see the fans and meet the fans, and I loved it.
Brian?
Oh, I thought he was great. He was fantastic. I stood in line. I got up there. I got my head autographed by him. I got a picture signed by him in my autograph book, and I even got a selfie with him. I mean, and the guy is phenomenal. Got to talk to him for a few minutes. He's the nicest guy I've ever met. He's so nice. It was unbelievable. I really enjoyed it. This is why I love CWC. They always bring in CWE. Sorry, they always bring in a fantastic superstar, past or present, and. I mean, you don't get to do this anywhere else, and it's fantastic. They take time to talk to you, and it's a wonderful.
Yeah, a small, intimate venue where you get the opportunity to interact with the Starlights. I'll be honest, I had 2 opportunities to talk to him. The first one was right before the show. Second one was during intermission. We spent so much time talking before the show, we actually forgot to take care of our merchandise business because we were too busy asking questions of each other, which it absolutely floored me. The fact that he was that interested.
Awesome.
You get higher ups that really care about this business, and Ron Simmons, without a doubt, one of the best guys I have seen come out to Alberta, period.
Yep. Yeah.
But that's only the first half, folks. We got 2.
Technically, it's more than half.
Well,
there's 6.
We still had 4 falls to go, so it's halfway.
True.
Our next match for the CWE Unified Junior Heavyweight Championship.
Not unified anymore, just CWE Canadian Junior Heavyweight Championship now.
Thank you. I got a ring announcer here to help me. We had the original Marquis taking on Tornado Tony Kazina in a 2 out of 3 falls matchup. Now, this matchup here was a rematch from the main event from the Jake the Snake Tour, where Marquis managed to defeat Kazina to become the junior heavyweight champion. He subsequently lost the title in Medicine Hat a few days later.
Calgary, actually.
It was Calgary? I thought it was Medicine Hat.
One of the 2.
Yeah, either way. Lost it a few days later, but the shock of him winning the title just floored us.
Oh my God, that was amazing.
Yeah. And this match here didn't disappoint as well.
Not a bit.
You knew these guys were filling each other out quite a bit throughout the matchup. The first fall, I usually call it what we call a Valentine roll-up, where the wrestler has his both feet on the middle rope, draped over the opponent, and the referee's too blind to see it. After a quick shove back into the ring, following a vicious attack on the outside. So the first fall went to Tony Kazina.
Yep.
Second fall was thanks to the running turnbuckle bulldog, courtesy of Markey, onto Kazina, whose back looked absolutely bruised after that.
Yeah.
Brown, blue, black, all those great colors. So it's 1-1. So we get to the third fall. These guys are unloading everything. Referee gets distracted with Markey. Tony Kazina grabs the title. Markey doesn't realize that if it's a count out, he doesn't get the title. So now that he realized that, he's arguing with the referee, trying to stop the count. Then he goes after Kazina with a suicide dive to the outside, and he gets met with a belt shot to the face. Disqualification. Your winner of the match was Markey, but still the CWE Junior Heavyweight Canadian Champion, Tornado Tony Kazina.
Yeah, honestly, I wasn't sure what was going on at the end there, because I literally had to go up to the ref and say, who wins, who's the champion. I had to ask because it wasn't clear. It really wasn't. And it's when I announced it, that's when everybody went, boo! I think everybody realized that Markey had won from the DQ. But I don't think anybody realized he didn't win the championship.
Well, I guarantee he didn't look like a winner at the end of it, because he got split open big time.
Well, honestly, he hadn't even been split open yet.
He was split open from the belt shot from what we saw, yeah.
I thought it was because Tony, after that, started beating on him, and he was biting on his forehead. That's where I thought he cut him open. I thought he literally bit him open.
No, he was split open after the belt shot, after he got wheeled into the ring. We actually didn't get to see the biting from our vantage point. I'm glad you did.
Yeah,
he's absolutely vicious.
Yeah, that's where I thought the blood came from. But yeah, he was biting on the forehead, laying punches in until Franco Varga and Knight came out to make the save, because it's like I know Knight and Markey don't have no love lost between the two of them, but you don't want to see him you don't want to see a guy get beat down.
There is a healthy respect there between the two of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But he doesn't want to see him get beat up like that in a cheap way.
Absolutely. Brian, your thoughts on this match?
Oh, I thought this was a great match. The first two falls were really good. And the third fall started out really good. And then, Tony had to resort. I guess he couldn't take the punishment. He had to resort and getting disqualified to retain his title. And like you said, in the end, he split Markey open and left Markey laying in a bloody mess in the ring. And Markey didn't look too good afterwards. And he looked like he needed to get some stitches in that head.
All right, and from there we go to our main event of the evening.
Wow. Main event of the evening.
For the CWE Canadian Heavyweight Championship, you had the challenger, Big Jesse Youngblood, the former RCW Commonwealth Champion, with his manager, Thaddeus Archer the Zumba.
The third.
No, sorry. I got a little confused there with the...
I was impressed by that suit. You had to be impressed by that suit.
Folks, I hope you really do get a picture of that suit. It was a...
phenomenal.
It was phenomenal. It was a Zuba suit.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't. I spoke with him earlier. He said he literally got it delivered to him yesterday.
Yeah, I was so excited to see it. Like, that is so perfect for this tour.
Yep.
But Youngblood was taking on Canadian Hercules, one half of the CWE Canadian Tag Team Champions, and also the CWE Heavyweight Champion, Canadian Hercules, Tyler Colton.
Yes.
You knew this was going to be a Haas match for sure.
It's been a long while since we've seen Tyler Colton here.
He was here last tour.
No.
Yeah.
He wasn't on the last one.
So we just had a little bit of a pause there. Sorry, folks. And actually, I've been corrected. Due to certain bookings and whatnot, this actually is the first time that Tyler Colton has been in St. Albert.
I think this is his first time in St. Albert. We haven't seen him for a CWE show since they were doing him in Sherwood Park there.
Yeah, because I've seen him in Springbrook, but I haven't seen him here in St. Albert. That makes a lot more sense here.
Yes.
But
yeah.
Let's put it this way. The fans have been missing out.
Oh my God.
Dude's a
This match here was your Haas on Haas match, and Big Jess brought it. And I will say this, as much as in the last couple CWE broadcasts I had certain comments regarding Big Jess and his tag team partner, Big Jess is one of the most talented wrestlers in Alberta, Period. I don't even need to go any further.
I will agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yes.
These guys went tit for tat, and with Thaddeus out there, just being the little annoying mosquito that he was enough to get
It's like the one on your foot.
Yeah, funny. Was one that let Colton get under the 8 ball here and let Youngblood get the advantage. But in the end, you had Colton pull off a move I didn't think he would be able to do.
Oh my God!
The power bomb on Big Jesse Youngblood.
Oh my God! He just got him up there too. Like, it took everything Colton had to pull up Jess.
And it looked like Youngblood almost hit head and neck first on that apron coming down.
I thought the ring was gonna break literally with those two when he did that.
It was bouncing multiple times when you said these guys slam each other. It was like just blah bam, blah bam, blah bam.
Yeah, thank goodness they have pads under those posts, or else we might have some grooves in the floor.
Yeah.
As we're seeing a truck run through a barricade with ribbons with a ribbon tied to its back tire. Can't wait to see that axle pop off. Anyway, guys, let's focus again. And what did you think about this match with Colton retaining his title, Brian?
Oh, I thought this was a great match. I mean, Tyler Colton's a pretty big boy, and then you get Big Jess in there. 2 big bulls going at it, and my God, Big Jess, it looked like a few times he almost had Tyler there. It was one point, I thought he was very, very close in getting it, but Tyler he got out of it, and in the end, though, that power bomb, like Andre said, used every single strength he had to get him, and when he put him down, my God, that whole ring just shook, and I think it literally knocked Big Jess out because Tyler pinned him and won the match, kept the title.
Oh, I'm so impressed by both these men. We regularly see Big Jesse Youngblood, and you forget how good he is. Like, if you see him so much, you kind of forget. But when you kind of put him,
take it for granted. That's the thing.
You do. And when it's seeing him put up against somebody we don't regularly see, and I think that's what it was for me, seeing him against somebody who we don't regularly see him work against, and him just excel and look so good in there. And then, don't get me wrong, Thaddeus was a huge factor for him, but you can't take anything away from Jess and how good he was in that match. But Tyler, he looked phenomenal, and the power, and like after being beaten down by Jess the other time, and to still be able to do that power bomb is so impressive.
Well, the thing for me is the biggest difference here is Jesse. The reason we can admire the work of Jesse Youngblood in this matchup is normally every match that he gets in the other company he's involved with, he's the bigger guy. Yeah. He's always had smaller opponents or some other physical advantage. He didn't have that here.
No.
Tyler Colton.
Technically, they were about even, I'd say, because Tyler was taller, but Jesse was heavier.
Yeah, it pretty much.
I'd put them at even.
Dead even, or even a slight edge to Colton, in my opinion. But these guys tore the house down, and it was a great way to end the night. All right, time for our highlights of the night here, folks. And I'll let Andre go first.
I'm going to give my highlight to the opening match. I thought it's the perfect way to kick off a show like that. The 3 of them, especially Roy Flash Golden, just the ability that guy has, and then seeing Knight come back, and again, the guy hasn't wrestled in roughly 3 months, just 3-4 months, killing it, and then Alex Anthony, who I love this guy now, man. He won my heart by putting his head against my belly. Just simple as that. I don't know, but I enjoyed that. I think don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the whole rest of the card, but that match, just kicking it off, was amazing.
All right, I'm going to go second. I'm going to let Brian go last for once. I'm going to go with the women's match. Now, behind the curtain...
No surprise.
Yeah, I know. Going behind the curtain, I'm going to let you know a little information here. I did check out a lot of Madison's matches prior to this. Basically, looking when I was setting up the first opponent for Youngblood, Cody Blade, because they were working in the same promotions for a time there. But on the request of Angelica, who actually worked Scarlett Black in BC, I checked out some of her work too, and my God, like, this was a great matchup with 2 great ladies. and living proof that women's wrestling in Canada is stronger than ever right now. So, Brian, your highlight of the night?
My highlight of the match is a no DQ match between AJ Sanchez and Hotshot Danny Duggan. You could tell... Duggan, sorry.
Dugan.
You call him Dugan, he gets shot.
Duggan, sorry. I get it mixed up. But you could tell these two did not like each other. And the story they told tonight was fantastic, with Danny getting the huge win, and you had the special guest, Ron Simmons, as the enforcer. I mean, it was great to see, and I mean, I love watching these guys. It was great. Danny, I've been watching him for a long time. I just actually seen him wrestle in ROH a few months ago. It's awesome to see somebody you get to see on independence here. I loved it.
All right, Andre is pointing his finger in my face that he's claiming another one.
It's a weird highlight. My highlight was seeing Ron Simmons interact with his fans.
Yes.
That was a highlight to me because I was right there, took some pictures for the fans and stuff, taking pictures and it was a highlight just to see how well he treats his fans. I love seeing that. Seeing a guy.
It's a level of genuine that you don't normally see in these meet and greets.
Yeah, it was just seeing him and how appreciative he was for all the comments of people saying, "I loved you. You were a huge influence growing up," and how much he appreciated it is what I really thought, because it's a guy that truly cares about his fans.
Yeah, there's very few wrestlers that throw that kind of genuine attitude on a tour like this, especially as many days as they're into it already. But
they're about a week. I think they're a week into it, and they got like 2 weeks to go.
Yeah, something in that range.
To go.
They do have Alberta stops in Springbrook on Monday. I believe it's Calgary Tuesday.
Grand Prairie tomorrow.
Grand Prairie tomorrow, yeah.
No, and then
Golden, BC.
I think it goes Grand Prairie, Springbrook, Golden, Calgary, Medicine Hat.
Nope, they got, I think Golden's in the middle there. But either way,
Golden's either before or after Springbrook.
Check out CWEWrestling.ca for all details. But I'm going to give first I want to give a shout out to the Fudge Boys who get to experience this tomorrow. Have fun, guys.
Federation, baby.
But surprise of the night, I believe we're going to go with the thanks to the Wrestling Mind winning the 50-50 draw tonight.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Ryan. I focus on. I found the right kid that would pick your ticket.
It was a 3. Yeah, never mind.
It was a
either way.
As Delmer yelled, "Fix."
Either way, Brian gets the opportunity to play for Delmer's dry cleaning bill after the attack from AJ Sanchez. Honestly, I have never, ever seen Delmer shut up the way he did there.
Oh my God.
I couldn't believe Delmer was quiet. I couldn't believe it.
And then at the end of the match, what happened there, the little provocation by Tasty Travis onto AJ, that shocked a lot of people, and thank God the intermission was there, so a lot of people could run to the bathroom. So,
yeah.
So you did announce that the next show for CWE is going to be in October, right, Andre?
Yeah, next tour, and stay tuned on CWE on Facebook, their website, Instagram, Twitter. Just take care on all the social media they're on. They will be announcing it. It won't be till after the end of this current tour. They'll be announcing the next one. It is in Edmonton, in St. Albert, right back here at the St. Albert Community Hall. Is that what it's called? Yeah, St. Albert Community Hall, Tuesday, October 30th. We've been lucky the last couple shows. Today's Saturday. Last time was a holiday Monday, and before that was a Sunday. We're getting a weekday now.
Yeah, I guess it balances out there, but we'll get you all the details once they become released by CWE. I really want to start working a little more with the CWE tour. Now that things are starting to settle down here a little bit at the network, and I'm getting a few more hands on deck to give me some assistance here. We're starting to get the ship a little bit more afloat here and in order.
You're growing another arm?
Yeah, shut up. But that's going to wrap up this edition of Quick Calls. Speaking of help, our next edition of Quick Calls, we're going to have multiple sites being covered here.
Yeah. I'm leading PWA next weekend.
Yeah, we got the PWA Hysteria show from the Northgate Lions Senior Center leading up to the Night of Champions in June. The main event of that matchup is Brendan Van Danielson taking on Jeff Tyler.
Yay!
With the PWA Championship on the line.
Jeff Tyler.
Jeff.
And myself, I'm going to be doing quick calls from the Canadian Wrestling Coalition show at Festival Hall in Red Deer, where we're going to have second round action of the Canada Cup.
Sounds so good.
I'm just getting the finalization for the draws. So
who's in it? At least give us the guys who are in the
if you guys check out CWC Evolution, either on Twitch or on backbreakervod.pivotshare.com, you can check out the previous editions of Evolution and find out who is a part of the Canada Cup and who has moved on. But I think we've done enough plugs here, so
I want one more. Find me on Twitter at that Canada guy, on Instagram at that Canada dude.
Also known as check the show notes.
Yep. So I gotta pop myself, man.
Any last thoughts before we go?
Yeah, phenomenally. I love being a part of this promotion. I love, even if I wasn't doing what I'm doing with them, I'd still be here supporting them, sitting in the crowd, front row, cheering my ass off, and I love it. I love this show.
We want them here more often. That's what I want.
Right.
Brian, any other thoughts?
Oh yeah, just if you get a chance, come out, support your local wrestling, independent wrestling show. The guys love it. You know, it's not WWE or anything, but I mean, these guys.
Says you. I think this is better.
Wow.
But I'd much rather watch this show than watch WWE in a second.
Yeah,
definitely
I'm just saying that this is really good. If, you're a fan of wrestling, come enjoy this. It's, to me, you have a great time. It's for everybody. Keep supporting it.
Yep.
Well, that's going to wrap up this show here, folks. Thank you, everyone, for checking us out. And don't forget, if you're going to make a good call, make a quick call. And this has been Quick Calls, covering the CWE 9 damn years anniversary tour from the St. Albert Community Hall in Fat Albert, Alberta, here on Backbreaker Media.